What's up, y'all? We are back, episode 10, I think, of the Colorado Rockies Out of the Park Baseball 24 series. And we are here 2027, and the Rockies sit at 32 and 28 in third place in the NL West division. 4.5 games behind the Dodgers, about a game behind the Giants in second place. So the season's gone pretty well. We've just had some internal regressions that have kind of led to the offense not being quite as good, and the pitching's still been good, so I can't really complain about that. But like Tovar's just been a little bit worse. Zach Veen isn't exactly following up his MVP year with like another MVP season, but still been good. Same story with Churio. Same story with Bryant. McMahon's been about as good as he was last year, and Adames has been much better. But Cal Mitchell, this dude got off to a crazy start to the season. Let me see if I can see his splits. Yeah, April, he was even like the beginning of April, he was insane. But yeah, 155 WRC plus, 7 home runs, 17 RBIs in April. May not quite as good, and so far in June has struggled. So, overall he's been good. Drew Romo has been really bad. Maybe this is a good time to extend him. He still wants a ton of money, but would like to lock him up long term. Miguel Bleis has been pretty good. He's been much better lately. He got off to a bad start. In April, yeah, he was pretty bad, and then May, he had a really good May, and then, June we played 2 games, so Kodai Senga's done a good job leading the rotation, 132 ERA plus. A string of really good starts here. Our number 2, I guess, Tanner Witt. I think he's been better than this ERA indicates. I mean, a 6.91 ERA indicates he's like the worst pitcher in baseball. So that's not saying a ton, but he's had a couple really bad games in here. But his log is like pretty impressive, quite frankly. Where was opening day? I think it was his first start was probably on the third. We kind of went over that, but a string of pretty good starts back to back, and then a bad one, a good one, a bad one, a bad one, a good one, a good one, bad one, good one, bad one. You kind of get the point. He's been like very hit or miss, so but we're gonna keep rolling him out there for now. Tyler Owens has been really good in a swingman role for us, 2.34 ERA. He's been starting recently and been very good in the role. Same story with Gavin Stone. He's been really good. 12 starts, on pace for about 145 innings on the year. Kevin Garcia, we called up. I don't think he made the opening day roster, but we brought him up, and he's been starting, and he's been really good. So, Witt's really been the only weak link. This rotation's been really solid outside of him. Max Meyer was starting some games. He was really no good. He's moved to the pen and been much better. Shavili's been up and down, been really good when he's up, and really good when he was in AAA. Then Cleveland, Efros, and Olivares have all been good. Justin Lawrence has really struggled. We're trying to win this year. He's not like the best rated pitcher, so I can't give him all the time in the world. But we're gonna keep him on the team for now because I like him, and he's a good arm to have out there, I think. And then Rodriguez and Lang have been so in the back end, but overall, I think they're good arms to have back there. I think they're probably better than their numbers indicate, like 2.59 Sierra for Lang, 3.54 FIP. Rodriguez with a 135 Sierra and a 2.44 FIP. So I think these guys are generally better pitchers than they're playing to. So, and then Adel Amador, Adel Amador, has been insane. He had like a stretch where he was. Because who the heck got hurt? It was Tovar, actually. He got hurt. I don't know what this filter. Okay. Yeah, there's a stretch where Tovar got hurt, and Amador came in, and let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it was like this stretch here. 4-hit game. Like, he was insane right here. Really boosted his numbers up, but, he's been an awesome player for us. Probably the best bench player I probably ever had in OOTP. I mean, is he leading my team in WRC plus? He is. Of course, like half the at bats of like a regular player, guy who's getting regular playing time, but still impressive. Parker Meadows has been so off the bench, whatever. Checking in our prospect, Dan Reinwald, fourth overall pick in 2026. Um, he's been pretty good. Yeah, he dominated Double A, so I called him up to Triple A, and he's been overall pretty fine there. He could get a call to the majors. He wants to be playing in the majors. I don't blame him. Approaching the All Star break, he'll probably get a call. Um, this guy, Brian Betancourt, I've been wanting to call him up, but I just don't have a spot for him. He's been dominating AAA the last 2 seasons. Same with Juan Guerrero. And then Cody Schreier really struggled down in AAA so far this year. I guess you could talk about Braden Holcomb. I just called up to Double A after a really good start in High A. He's the number 58 prospect in baseball. Jackson Cox, another guy who's pitching well in Double A. I'm going to give him a little more time there. Then Philpott, he got a nice boost in the last scouting report. Stuff went up to an 80, and that was about it. But, his potential's had a 75, so really excited for him. He just got the call up to High A after 19 total starts in A-ball. Wasn't really good in his first start, but whatever, it's one game. So there you go. We're about, 60 games in? So then, we have the number one prospect in baseball, Oliver Cecina. And then Jorge Bautista. Those guys are both in the Dominican complex. Just kidding. They're in my, Dominican league. Not in the international complex. I just completely combined those two. Let's see, any other guys? Toto struggled. I have him in A-ball right now. He's probably being stretched there, so once the Dominican League starts, I'll send him back down. I just want to get him a full season of ball. Connor Griffin's starting to show signs of life in High A. After really struggling in A-ball when he was called up halfway through the year. So he can be in Double A, maybe Triple A by the end of the year. His ratings have really progressed. So we'll sim up a little bit, probably to around the All-Star break, and kind of do what we usually do over there. So, we'll be back in just a moment. All right, so I completely forgot. First-year player draft, the next spot we're going to. So we have the 31st pick in this year's draft. The Giants jump from 13 to 1. Stampede, Tigers, Astros, Royals round out the top 5. So let's hop into this. And I have not looked at the pool, so this will be a surprise. Looks like there's 4 good pitchers and a ton of good hitters. So, is it even worth looking through these guys? Is it going to be the same as last year? Probably. So, San Francisco takes a 21-year-old Emelian Wetzel. I wonder if he's related to Co-Wetzel. He's from Appalachia State, so I doubt that. So, pretty well developed. Or not really well developed 21-year-old hitting wise. I'm a little concerned about that profile and the defensive versatility or lack thereof. This is much more of a guy that I would go with. Brendan Seigler, really nice player. We'll go up to our pick here. So I see 3 good high school pitchers. That's good. I don't mind high school pitchers. Like I said last time, I've had some pretty good luck developing those guys in the past. So they don't really scare me. This guy, Ben Lowry, not really in my consideration. He basically has 3 variations of fastball. So, not really a strikeout pitch. This guy will never be a big strikeout pitcher if he even makes the majors or even succeeds at all. So, not a guy I'd look at. Jamie Cooper, on the other hand, fastball, slider, splitter. Love that pitch mix. Extreme ground ball. Pretty well developed for an 18-year-old. Almost 19. And durable. Then Amari Baptisti looks familiar. I don't think I took him in my twin save, but good pitch mix. Got a cutter and splitter, already well developed. Curveball, knuckle curve, plus pitches. Then really good stuff, movement control. $7 million demand, which is steep, but I don't hate it. Tag Andrews, a guy I really like, fly ball pitcher though. I'm not totally against taking fly ball pitchers at this point, but, there's some other good options out there. I do like him because he's a 21-year-old, really well developed. Low movement, though. I don't know how he develops. Gil Wheeler can't play defense. First baseman. Um, go to some college guys. I like Thurman Noel a lot. High work ethic, high leader, 70 range. The bat's good. Not like my dream bat, but pretty decent. Dave Rogers, much more developed as a 22-year-old. We have a good amount of outfielders. I don't typically not draft for need, but in this case, like we already have a good flux of guys that I think we're good with long term. Um, this guy, Steve Conway, 22 years old, really well developed. Not the highest ceiling at all, but fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, sinker. The changeup could come along, probably won't. Um, there are a lot of pitches in kind of like this velocity band, so the curveball I guess changes that equation a bit, but you want to have some pitches that are different ranges of velocity. So Steve Conway, definitely in consideration here, an over the top guy. No crazy splits, which you like to see from a lefty. Dan Sowell, not really the build that I go for with my hitters. That's all personal preference, of course. There's some guys who like the all contact, no power guys. I'm not one of them. Nice reliever here if he falls at some point. Steve Howell's pretty good player. But I mean, there's some good guys up there. So I've had really good success, as I've mentioned in my twin save, with drafting high school guys late first round. It does take them like 4 or 5 years to make the majors, um, but they do eventually come together. In my case, a lot of the time. So, but Jamie Cooper might be too good to pass up here. Reminds me a lot of Mike Wolf from the Twins series. The control. Hopefully, it develops up to a 55. Even if it's a 50 with this good stamina, he's a guy who can get you 6 innings every day. It's when they have the low stamina and low control that's when you get worried about, becoming like a five and fly guy, which they have value, but not really as much as a guy like this. $9 million demand is steep, but he's durable. 6'6", 200 pounds. It's really between him and Baptiste. Baptiste lower floor for sure. Cooper, the 3-pitch mix, I usually prefer 4. Tag Andrew's kind of out of this race. You got Conway too, who's the higher floor, lower ceiling guy. But the ceiling isn't really that much lower. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go for Jamie Cooper here. Reminds me so much of Mike Wolf, and 18 years old. $9 million demand. Really steep, but we have some money to blow, so let's do it. We'll go way over slot there with that pick. So round 2, I wouldn't mind going for a high school guy here if there's anyone available that I like. Which Gil Wheeler, he can't play defense. I don't draft those guys typically. Chaika, Steve Howell, I do like. College bat, pretty well developed. 22 years old. He's probably got like a 2029 projection when it comes to the majors, maybe earlier. Not really an outfielder in my park. That's my only concern. But is below slot, so that's something to consider. Fastball, slider, sinker, side armor. I don't do side armors. I've had some bad experiences with those guys. Their splits are too much to deal with as starters. Steve Mumm. I just mentioned how I don't like the low power, low eye guys. But he's impossible. Never mind. Hayden Newberry, I like him. Judy Vitale, $1.2 million demand, durable, 18 years old, good range. The error, whatever. Not really too concerned about error. But this guy, fly ball hitter that doesn't have much power, that concerns me because Those guys tend to not do well. If you don't have a lot of power, you better be a ground ball hitter because if you're trying to hit in the air and you're not hitting home runs, you're gonna have issues, in my opinion. Jim Barber, low movement guy. Chris Bednick, high range, but the bat's not really anything. Jonathan Blevins, really intrigued. Second base only guy, most definitely, but this bat is already pretty far along and could be, our Ezekiel Tovar replacement one day. Tovar's got a couple years of control left. Now with the new rules, I think he might have 3 years actually. 2.5, I should say, with this half season. Yeah, I kind of like Blevins here. He's pretty far down in potential ratings, but that doesn't concern me when he's so far along. It's always good to have these bats down here too. So I don't even know where he just went. Oh my God, okay, he's farther down. Let's just check really quick. A couple more guys. Kevin Browning's interesting. Any college guys that are Cole Emerson's cool. David Hogg, I drafted him prior. I remember that name. I don't think he ever turned in anything, obviously. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with Blevins. First baseman, or second baseman only. Even he's not going to be a very good one, but that bat can definitely play, especially in our ballpark, and he's way under slot, which is important because we spent $9 million on our first round pick. So we go to the third round, and I would like to walk out of here with a pitcher of some sort in the early rounds. That's not a starter. I don't mind Barber, but he's a fly ball pitcher. I do mind him. 20 years old, not much upside. Bobby Christensen, a neutral guy, fastball, curveball, sinker. Not my favorite pitch mix. Mario Delgado. This seems like the type of guy that I draft. And sometimes turn out good, sometimes don't. Fastball, slider, sinker, splitter. Really like that mix. Lefty, extreme ground ball. Normal, decent control to make up for the low stamina. 1.5 million, and he's fragile, so that's a no-go. Uziar doesn't have much of a bat at all. I'm not a huge fan. Kielsing, 21 years old, has a great glove, but no bat. Not even draftable, in my opinion. At least this early. I mean, later rounds, sure, I'll throw a dart, but... Reedus, 65 range. 21 years old, low demand. I did take a college bat earlier, so maybe I go with a high school guy here, with a low demand. Ground ball hitter. Ground ball hitters aren't the end of the world at my ballpark, but I tend to stray away from the first baseman types that can't run, because, you can't run and hit ground balls. You're going to get out a lot of the time. Most likely. So, Cheka here, 70 range, 75 speed, line drive hitter. He may never grow into this power, but he's durable. I think that's a good dart to throw. Or Mum. Mum's impossible. Yeah, okay. Let's go with Cheka. Way under slot, so that's good. And then we'll do a couple more rounds on camera here. Impossible sign. Irv Collins, interesting. Low movement though. Okay, We are back and just finished up the draft for the year. It's been a week since I picked this game up, so um, I'll run through the picks for myself as well as, I probably went over them last time I recorded. But Jamie Cooper, first overall, Jaime Cooper, I think that's how you say it, Jaime Cooper. First overall, or first pick, 31st overall. Reminds me a lot of Mike Wolf from the last save. I think I mentioned that. Second pick was Jonathan Blevins, bat first guy, but could be a really good second baseman. Took Joey Chayka in the third round. Maybe not much power, but a guy who can play center field for us in the majors eventually. Mike Kessling, we took. I think this is the first pick I just took today when I jumped back on. 75 range, not much of a bat, but it's possible he can make the majors with that glove. Fifth round, we took Danny Ames, high school guy. Good leader, pretty good range. Could be a corner guy on our team in the future. Took Jim Barber, a high school pitcher. I just like to throw darts at high school guys in these like mid rounds because, I've had pretty good success with them. Fastball, curveball, splitter. I don't love that mix just because you have two vertical pitches in the curveball and splitter, but high work ethic. Who knows? Took Elijah Clayton, who I put in the A-ball. Really good eye, not much power, but, another guy who we'll throw a dart at. Another pitcher here, Irv Colling, a high school guy. Jeff Dressler, another pitcher with a lot of pitches. I like taking these guys too because, he might not have the best velocity, but, if any of these pitches become above average, he could be a potential pitcher for us in the future. A couple more pitchers we took here. This guy was interesting. I took him. I think he was a tough to sign guy, but I didn't offer him any bonus. So Luis Esquivel, high school bat, fly ball hitter. Not the best range, but could be a potential DH. And that's pretty much it. But really quick, I just want to go over how our draft picks have been doing. So Tanner Witt, he was up in the majors. We did wind up sending him down after a really rough stretch, but he'll be back with the team eventually. He's pitching well down in AAA at the moment. Braden Holcomb has made it up to AA. Not doing much there, but he started off the season strong in High A. So happy with him. Colin Mazzell, the upside not as high as it was when we drafted him, but he was hitting well enough in High A. He got 650 at-bats down there, so I called him up to AA, just to give him a challenge, and maybe he turns it around. Daniel Covett, who he was a really high upside guy at the time. I remember correctly. Yeah, he was an 80 potential. That's why I don't typically take high school guys early in the draft, but his ratings haven't dropped too much. His potential ratings, and he's generally the same player, just a little worse. But he was hitting well in High A, and we gave him the call to AA. So we'll see what he can do up there. Cody Schreier's in AAA, not playing very well, but was good last year up there. That's probably we could stop there. Connor Griffin, who's the first overall pick in 2024, the upside's still there. Was hitting well in. Sorry, he wasn't hitting well in A-ball, but called him up to High A, just to give him a challenge, and he's been fine up there, holding his own. Strikeout rate's way down, that's good, and the walk rate's up, so all good signs of potentially turning it around for him. I have a tough time managing these high school guys and what levels they should be at, so that could also be on me with this development. Trey Snyder. Looking more of a utility guy, but, these are good guys to have, I guess. He's in High A. Catcher, Cade Arambide. 21 years old at this point. Just called him up to A-ball. Was hitting well enough in rookie ball that I was comfortable giving him the call. I did all these promotions right after the draft, so that's kind of why they don't have any stats at these teams yet. So Tremaine Cobb is hitting pretty well in AAA. Has gotten a little bit of the majors. I called him up for there was an injury or something. He's 25 at this point, so he's ready. Carson DiMartini, Twins legend for us, was hitting well in AA. He'd gotten about 550 at bats, so Called him up, or plate appearances. I go by plate appearances, and he was hitting well, so I called him up to AAA. Um, Casey Saki was a bust, but whatever. And 2025 picks, Brant Brockham, up in AAA at this point, and he's held his own for the most part. 200 plate appearances, and um, I don't know if you look at the WRC plus and say it's a disappointment, but he's hitting with a 300 average, just not much power. Definitely not going to be a shortstop, but it was the second overall pick. There wasn't much left, or there wasn't much like available that I liked. So yeah, he's fine. Not too worried about him. Buss and Kellner looks like he's not really going to work out. The bat is still actually he's hitting really well. He was hitting really well in rookie ball, and pitching fine in rookie ball too. So we gave him the call up to A. I don't even know where we are right now. Coy James up in A ball, not hitting well at all, but he's still young. Let's see. Michael Gupton is in Double A, hitting pretty decently for a guy of his ability. We have Ethan Porter here, third base / first base prospect, corner outfielder, down in rookie ball, not really hitting too well at the moment. And then 2026, we have Dan Reinwald in the majors. He's made 2 starts, not been good, but we still have high hopes for him moving forward. Yeah, we have Phil Cates. He's down in rookie ball, so pretty crazy. Our first pick is in the majors. Our second pick still in rookie ball. Then Chris Wood. We pitched him in rookie ball to start last year when he got drafted. He's in A now. Hasn't been horrible. He's been fine, but the upside is definitely there, and the floor is pretty good at this point as well. Gavin Killens in Double A, hitting well. I would have called him up, but he hasn't had quite the play appearances that I want. I want at least 200 to be able to promote these guys. Jim Appel, not much going on there, but one of the steals from this was Zach Wattis, who is hitting well he was hitting well in high A, like 200 WRC plus. I called him up to Double A, and we'll see how he does there. Really excited for him as an 8th round pick. And then, yeah, we went through that draft. So we are 48 and 46, and the All-Star teams are about to be announced, so we will go right there and see who made the team. We went 4-1 against Cincinnati in this one. I didn't go over this, by the way. Wyatt Langford, this is something that, I've been sitting here for a week, and this is one of the things I forgot to go over. He's been incredible. Had a rough spring, but he's batting .356, 168 WRC plus. I think he's hitting mostly against against lefties. It's about half and half, but he's been crushing no matter where if he's hitting against lefties or righties. The strikeout to walk's not really there, and the BABIP's really high, so there'll be some regression, but couldn't ask for more out of Wyatt Langford here. Playing first base, I guess. Looks like Brian got the day off. So, and All-Star teams were announced. So let's go take a look. There is the AL, if you're curious. Chase Dollander. Just like to look at him, see how he's doing, because, big bust in my Twin Series. There's the AL. Not too many surprising names. A lot of top prospects, guys that were drafted in real life. I'm seeing right here Graham Ashcraft. Good for him. Finally, only 100 ERA plus, but he's finally a league average pitcher, which is good for him. Didn't work out with us. So Colorado, Randy Vasquez makes it. A little surprising. I mean, he's been good, but probably just the war he's racked up from pitching so many innings in their stopper role, I would say. And then anyone else? Looks like Jackson Churio, 2.5 WAR, makes it, and Zach Veen also makes it with 2 WAR. He's a starter in right, Churio's in the left. And there you go. So we'll play up Cincinnati here. Just go through it really quick. We win 14-7. Big game. Miguel Bleis finally looks like he might be breaking out. A couple 4-hit games in a row. Good to see that. I still have good hopes for him, and Zico Tovar continues to play well. A way down year from this season. He's been slowly declining as a player, but he's still been good, and maybe not worth the money. I don't think we'll give him a big contract after it's up, but I'm really happy with how this team's doing. Cody Senga, 6 runs in 7 innings, but we need an innings eater on this team, and he's been that. So love to see that. There you go. So we'll sim up. We're 50-46. We're just outside the wild card race, but we're gonna push for it. So we'll come back with some trades and kind of see where things go in just a second. So this is actually one thing that I wanted to review because I was looking at this Churio trade. I forgot like we actually traded for this dude way back in the day, and I wanted to see how these guys were doing. And Cade McBrown has turned into a very solid pitcher here for Milwaukee. Now the ratings are really good. He could pitch in my team right now. Not upset that I got Churio for him, but Cade McBrown's turned into a good player. Montero is now with the Yankees, but he's turned into a good enough player on that squad. Gabriel Hughes also a useful pitcher. So looking back, we gave up quite a bit for Churio here, and Yanquiel Fernandez, 24 years old at this point, playing for Milwaukee every day. So and hit 37 home runs last year. So. I kind of described that as a fleece back in the day. We also got $10 million, and we did get the best player in the trade, but the return for Milwaukee was much better than I would have expected it to turn out to be. So, you can't judge a trade by this way. You look down a couple of years and see what happens, but I just wanted to point that out because I thought that was an interesting development in that trade saga, I guess. So, we'll go up to the deadline here and come back in a bit. Okay, so I think I have the first trade that we're going to make here at the deadline. I looked around, there wasn't a ton of pitching available. I mean, pitching is very valuable, but we were able to find a trade for Justin Steele, 32 years old. I believe he has, it says he has one more year of control, but that doesn't make any sense because he already has over 6 years of, oh, just kidding. That's why, because the, what do you call it? The amount to reach the free agency increased by a year. So we have him for a year and a half. Justin Steele, extreme ground ball guy. Not like it really matters anymore. I just want someone who doesn't give up home runs, basically. And he has had a tough time suppressing the home run ball in New York, but I think that could reduce a little bit. He has good ratings and extreme ground ball guy. So the headliner here, I guess, is Tremaine Cobb. almost 26 years old. Doesn't have position. Low leader, low work ethic. I mean, he's basically, it would be like a first baseman DH type, but his bat doesn't really play well enough to play at first base. Former 5th-round pick that was in our second draft. Cal Mitchell stings to give up, but because he has been having a good year and he was good last year, but at the end of the day, this is a average hitter. Doesn't have a crazy platoon split. He's 28 years old. We got him for nothing, and he's making $2 million. So don't mind giving him up. Really, the toughest piece to give up was Gavin Stone. The peripherals all look good. The ERA is high, but, I mean, this is all, like, pitching in that, like, 70 pitches per game role, which, again, I mentioned is not really sustainable for a full year. And he is a really good pitcher, but, he's 28. And I think Steele's an upgrade and gives us an actual starter there. Michael Gupton, I think we just talked about him in the draft video, or the last draft segment. Former 4th-round pick. Has been hitting well. I could see a future of him for like a 4th outfielder, but, not a huge guy to give up. And then Case Williams, they were interested in him, so we're going to throw him in as well. They'll retain 30% of the deal, and I think Chicago's already eating 60%. So there you go. I think that'll be the trade that we do. So they're pissed that we got rid of Gavin Steele. I get it. If we weren't going for it this year, I'd probably hold off on that, but I think that's a good trade to make there. So where does that leave our rotation? I think this is pretty good. Tyler Owens has been solid. Kevin Garcia has been good. Max Meyer kind of flamed out of the rotation, but he'll be in the bullpen. Chavillis, you guys are both here for like depth, bulk innings. And then a bunch of our other guys actually are able to go multiple innings, so not too worried about that. The only guy I would look to upgrade is Justin Lawrence, but um, I don't know. I like him, so I'm going to keep him around. And then, the rest of the bullpen looks pretty good. The hitting looks, I honestly think this will be fine. Romo should bounce back to, a 90 WRC plus guy, or at least give me 80, not 40, whatever this is. Backup catcher is fine. Our Parker Meadows is fine as a fourth outfielder, or like fifth outfielder, whatever you want to call him, and Langford. But I feel pretty good about this team going down the stretch here. Um, Eventually, we'll get Michael James back, who could make an appearance in the on the major league team. That would be at the end of the year, but we will have to call up a guy to play in that lefty platoon role with Langford. So go down to the minors, and we have this guy right here, Brian Betancourt, lefty. He was drafted as I signed him as an international. Someone signed him as an international guy. This was before my regime. And he was a catcher in my system, but he can't really catch. So I moved him to DH, first base. And all he's done is hit in the minors. So 23 years old. I'm going to give him the call up. He's ready. So Betancourt will just slot right in there as our DH against righties. So pretty seamless. So we got rid of spare parts, I guess. And we'll move forward with this team. So we'll go up to the deadline. Maybe we'll do this on camera. I don't know how long this episode is. But we'll go game by game here and kind of run through this because it's interesting to do, I guess, especially with a new look team. So Betancourt gets his first career hit there. Reinwald, good performance. 5 innings, 1 run. And then Justin Steele here to make his Colorado debut against St. Louis. We win 6-4, so it's a good thing. Amador, a couple of hits. He continues to rake. I'm afraid to give him more playing time because I don't know if he's gonna crash. But still pretty good. A lot of walks, but the bullpen, get me through 5, and the bullpen will do work. We lose 11-9. Bryant has 3 hits, 3 ribbies. Parker Meadows with 3 hits. So Owens goes 4 1/3, 3 runs. Meyer, he's been a real liability out there this season after a pretty good year for us last year. And then Efros, he kind of continues to struggle on this little stretch here. We'll keep rolling with him, but as we get closer to the deadline, if he decides he can't pitch anymore, then I'm gonna go and upgrade that position. But I do like our bullpen how it is. We went 5-2. Churio, a couple RBIs. Bryant and Veen, Langford drive a couple guys in. Langford had a home run. That was his 8th on the year. And Garcia, a good 5 2/3, 1 run, and then the bullpen, a good job to close it out. And back around to Kodai Senga, we win 10-1. Big game for the offense. Romo, hopefully he can turn it around here. He had a rough stretch there, but I have faith in him. He's been an awesome player for us since he's been on the team. So still wants a big contract. If he drops that demand in the offseason, I might go and extend him because he's a key piece, and probably why our pitching staff's pretty decent at this point. So Senga has been awesome. He puts up an 8-inning run performance, and we go to Philadelphia for 4 here. Rough day for the offense. Reinwald's pretty good, but Efros gives up the run to not seal the game, but or could lose the game, but to seal the loss. So we lose 16-5. Justin Steele, not horrible, but Tyler Cleveland, Randy Rodriguez, 6 unearned runs, can't get an out. That's a tough loss. Hopefully you can just move on from that. Our pitching staff's still good to go. So looking to take 1 against Philly, and we have a trade offer for Taylor Rogers, sorry. Not a bad player, free agent after the year. We wouldn't be paying him anything. For Juan Alvarado, not really a guy I'd want to give up, I don't think. Also, it's not actually a bad player. And then this nobody. So I might be able to get Taylor Rogers for free here, it looks like. Oh, maybe not. What the heck? Oh, we don't have enough money to... No. What the heck? They really like Juan Alvarado that much? Okay. I mean, I get it. Young guy. Pitching's tough to come by in this league, for sure. Sinker slider type. Do we need a lefty in the pen? Kind of. Oliveira's has been good. Um, I actually don't hate trading for him, but not for that. Let's discuss that. Oh, what the heck? Let's go in here and see what we can do here. So, looks like they liked. Oh, I wish I could freaking discuss this trade. Whatever. I don't need him. We'll be fine. So we're 56 and 49, by the way. So we've been on a pretty good roll overall, but we have a couple teams that jump in our division, and we're in fourth place in the wild card. So we won against Philly. That's good. Adames 3 RBIs, Veen 3 RBIs, Blaze 3 hits, Amador 3 hits as well. 2 hits, sorry. Owens does his job, and then Max Meyer, a hitless 4 1/3 performance. Good for him. He needed that big time. We go to Pittsburgh. Actually, we go to Colorado to play Pittsburgh for 3 here. And 11-2 victory. Nice day for the offense. Betancourt looking to get going. He's been pretty good since we called him up. Not much power, but that should come at some point here. Amador continues to he's been incredible. I wish I had a spot for him in my lineup. I'm playing him quite a bit. If we go here, I could probably even put him in for McMahon a little bit more, but McMahon's been awesome too. So I'm subbing him for Adames, I guess. I actually kind of like I think he's getting plenty of playing time here. And Tovar's too valuable to bench, I think. So I'm cool with this. It's actually yeah, okay. I just want to make sure Meadows isn't playing too much for Blyce because I do want him to get going here. So game 2 against Pittsburgh here, we lose 4-2. Not much going on. Senga a good start, but the offense, you're not going to score many games. Score 2 runs. Win too many games scoring 2 runs. I don't know what I just said. And we win the series, and July 29th, so we're a couple days from the deadline. Adames has been on a good roll here. Good for him. He needed that because he was, I looked to kind of trade him at the deadline. But, he's kind of solidified his spot on the team, I think, with his little stretch here. So, Reinwald, 3 good games in a row. Really 4. He had a rough debut, but besides that, he's been really steady. Not really striking anyone out, which a little concerning, but also curious because his ratings aren't that bad. But I'm sure that'll come at some point here. So I think this is a huge series against LA, who continues to cruise. 66 and 42. 58 and 50 would normally be good enough to at least be in second place, but this division's been incredible this year with the Giants and the Dodgers. So this is a big series. Justin Steele, he's got to come through here. And we do win 7-4. Steele 5 1/3, 2 runs. We'll take that all day. Then Rodriguez, Lawrence, Lang close it out. Nice day for the offense as well. So we're at the trade deadline, and I think we're pretty good to go. Betancourt hasn't been great, but we have some guys in the minors we could always call up. Baucom's probably getting close to being ready. I don't know if he'll get a September call up or something. We also have Guerrero down here, who is good in spurts the last 2 seasons for us, and has been good in the minors. So he can be an option to be called up. We could also just give Langford some more playing time because he has been really solid when he's been out there. Haven't really given him a ton of opportunities, but and also Parker Meadows up to a league average hitter. Good for him. Love to see that. Hopefully Romo can turn it around. He's really the fulcrum of this. If he continues to suck with the bat, then we're gonna have some problems come playoff time. But Tovar kind of has to turn it around a little bit here. But besides that, we'll bank on some internal improvements and kind of roll into the playoffs. So we made the one big trade for Steele. Um, didn't mortgage the farm or anything, but the offense is still first in the league. We'll pretty much need that every season. But 11th in runs against, not horrible. First in pitching WAR, which we love that. I read something that defensive efficiency will never be good because we play in such a big ballpark. So I'm just gonna kind of ignore that. But our zone rating's fifth. Um, yeah, so I think we'll wrap the episode here. Let's go through the deadline and wrap things up. So we actually take this game against LA. So we have a chance to sweep them here. And we play San Diego, who I think they've struggled this season. But a nice game for the offense. Owens does his job. Meyer in the bulk role. And there you go. So we'll go one more game. Try to sweep LA in Colorado. And some development stuff there. I'll go through that after. And we don't. We lose 7-5. Tovar gets 4 hits, though. Like to see that. So silver lining in the loss. Garcia struggles quite a bit, but, good things from the bullpen there. So that'll wrap up the, first half episode of 2027. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully more consistent videos coming this way. I just had a busy week looking at vehicles and stuff. So, we'll be back with more consistent content soon. So thank you so much for watching, and we will be back in the next episode. See ya.